Hello and welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss, and welcome to the final Through the Rainbow. This month we are going to focus on our base pages, page kits, or make and takes, and I've chosen to focus on base pages. Now it's not a new concept, but for me, and I will only speak for myself, I have gone to conventions for years in my early scrapbooking days, and we would create, you would take classes and you would create a page, a layout, and it would be completed except for your photos. That for me it locked me in to photo orientations, and I just couldn't think around it. So for years, I had these layouts just sitting in my stash with no photos on them because I felt like I was completely locked in by the photo mats that were on there. It never occurred to me to take them off and redo them because I'm still very literal minded. But at that time, I was even more rigid. And I thought, this is how they taught the class. This is how it has to be. I can't change it. I can't do anything else. It has to be this way. Well, we all know that that's ridiculous. And I've matured enough to know that that's ridiculous to think that way. But I did. That's how I thought. And then Janet Madison of Record the Story came into my life. And she explained base pages in a way that it was like fireworks going off in my brain. It gave me freedom. I will forever appreciate her. She is on Patreon now. She still has her YouTube channel and she posts occasionally, Record the Story. But if you want the meat and potatoes of scrapbooking, you need to go to Patreon, pay the $1 a month. It's the best dollar you'll ever spend. Here recently, she recapped how to create a visual triangle, how to make it balanced. I'm telling you, she is a teacher at heart, and she just makes everything simplified, and she helps me to think in different ways. I appreciate that about her so, so much. So going back to base pages, once she taught how she makes base pages, I went wild and made tons of base pages. And now I have an overflow of base pages. But for this month, I chose a few to play with. And I've even gotten to the point that I will use photo mats, as you can see. Sometimes I do, because it helps create, for me, a placeholder. Now, I know this placeholder doesn't have to remain this way. So this layout, although I like it, I decided not to use it for the photos that I selected. And then I have this one. This one's wide open. I love the sentiment, find joy in simplicity. And the title alone really captures my photos. But then I found one that was better. So I didn't choose this one. Now this one actually is supposed to be a 2-page layout. One of them has photo mats. One of them does not. But I chose not to use that one either. Now these were created from a Close to My Heart collection, if I'm not mistaken. And I wanted to get that collection used up, so I created another layout with the same collection. This was the scraps and leftovers. You can tell I'm getting to the end of it. But I decided not to use this one either. Even though the Cultivate Joy, I could make that work. I chose to use Shine because it was absolutely perfect for these photos. More specifically, these two photos. Now, I've cut these down. I've trimmed them down quite a bit. These were taken with my SLR, my single lens reflex camera. And this was before I owned a digital. Now, back in 2005, digital cameras were probably a thing. I did not own one. And several mornings I was going to work, and this pond, this big tree is up on the hill, and this pond is down below it. And I would see, you know, the mist rising off the pond and then the sun shining through the tree. And I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. So this is another photo of the pond, and you can't see it well, but dotted in the background are cows. I'm trying to decide if I should say is or are. There are cows back there. And I just thought this was beautiful, and so I left early one morning so that I could stop on the side of the road and take some photos with my camera. And I love finding joy in simple things, but this title, Shine, I thought was absolutely perfect for these photos. This is back in the day, you know, you had to take your film and get it printed, and so these are the only photos I have of this morning. And it looks as if I got them printed in 2008. So I didn't jump right on top of taking photos or getting them printed, that's for sure. And I trimmed down a lot of the unnecessary elements in the photos. Like, you don't need grass going for days. You don't need the sky going for days. So I just trimmed them down so that it would fit on this layout better. And I definitely wanted to just go ahead and use all 4 photos. Okay, I'm going to do my journaling down here. This is going to be a super quick layout and video, but that is okay. I don't think I'm going to embellish it anymore. Just going to add my journaling here at the bottom, and we're going to call this one done. Just like that. Thank you so very, very much for joining us for Through the Rainbow. 2 years of it. It was a year-long challenge for 2 years. And we are going to wrap this one up. I appreciate you. Come back. Oh, first, go down below and click on the links to follow along all month long with everyone who is participating. Come back and we will chat again soon. Bye-bye.